And he has resorted to, of course, playing the race card.
We need to really stop distorting the news. And, I'm going to say this, and, I'm not saying it out of hate. I'm saying it out of love. I'm a black man that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me.
What? I'm a black man that's mayor. My story has been interpreted by people who don't look like me. What story? Crime? Mandate that you've continued, even as a growing number of New Yorkers are sick of them? But your story can't be interpreted unless the reporter looks like you?
We need to really stop distorting the news. And, I'm going to say this, and, I'm not saying it out of hate. I'm saying it out of love.
Notice he almost said, I'm not saying it out of love. Caught himself.
We need to really stop distorting the news. And, I'm going to say this, and, I'm not saying it out of hate. I'm saying it out of love. I'm a black man that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me.
Oh, for crying out loud. I should have done that. When I was interviewed by the editorial board of the Sacramento Bee and the editorial board of the Los Angeles Times, I should have whipped out the race card and said, my story's not being interpreted by people who look and think like me. How many black conservatives do you have?
We got to be honest about that. How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written?
Now, keep in mind, this is the mayor of New York City, whose largest and most influential newspaper, of course, is the New York Times. And guess who the New York Times endorsed for his mayoral campaign? Eric Adams, the same man now who's going BMW about the horrible coverage he's getting. Don't you love it when people like Joe Biden, Barack Obama, who enjoy massive, massive support from the mainstream media, complain about the mainstream media?
How many Asians? How many East Indians? How many?
Didn't you just now say people that look like you? Are you Asian or East Indian? I'm a little confused. It's just
South Asians. Everybody talks about my government being diversified. What's the diversification in the newsrooms? So everybody go back with their predispositions, and my role as mayor is being interpreted through the prisms of your realities.
Isn't it the same thing Lori Lightfoot said? Isn't it amazing? Just whip out the race card, get criticism. When white mayors get criticism, they just get criticism. But when black ones do, let's whip out the race card and accuse the media of being racist, of not understanding their story. Even though the media most often endorsed them, supported them, pulled for them, certainly did not support conservatives.
Not mine. So when you write stories, you're not writing stories for people who was almost homeless like me. You're not writing stories for people who were arrested and beat by police officers. You're not writing stories from those who are dealing with high crime. You're writing from your prisms. And I'm not saying this to attack, but my administration is going to be about saying the obvious that other people are uncomfortable with saying. Discomfort is growth.
You're not writing from the perspective of somebody who was homeless like I was. So unless a reporter has been homeless, a reporter ought not be writing about somebody who was once homeless. All right, just want to make sure I got it.
So I say that to all your owners of your papers, your editorials, diversify your newsroom so I can look out and see people.
Diversify your newsroom. Does that mean diversify ideologically? Notice he didn't say how many conservatives do you have? How many independents do you have? How many Trump voters did you? He didn't say that. So you mean diversify so that instead of a white liberal reporter, it's an Asian American liberal reporter or an Indian American liberal reporter?
That look like me and say, we're going to write stories based on the prisms that we have, based on the prism of this young man, based on the prism of being the first black woman.
Do facts have prisms? Honestly.
Speaker, or Jumaane Williams, based on the prisms of his realities. It's not what we're getting. That's not what we're getting. And that's why I'm covered the way I'm covered. And I'm not comfortable with it.
Boy, how long has he been in office? A few weeks? And already he's whining about his coverage? Ever think maybe you're getting bad coverage because you promised to crack down on crime and then back down? Ever think maybe you're getting negative coverage because instead of dealing with the fact that we've got soft on crime DAs like you have one in New York, you're talking about guns, the proliferation of guns, even though over 90% of the crimes have nothing whatever to do with guns?